Hey everyone, it's Brandon here with Front Page Pop, bringing you all the latest in reality TV and celebrity news. I'm here today as part of my Celebrity Conversations series with the one and only Matt Sarafa. Matt, how are you?
Oh my God, I'm so much better now that I'm here with you. I'm so excited.
Thank
So
you.
let's get it on and popping, baby.
Yes, we're going to get into all the things. So, you are an unbelievably talented, what I would call like a design prodigy in
Stop.
fashion design. You're a celebrity fashion designer,
I do it a
and
lot.
you are a reality star. You do
Oh
it
my
all.
God. Oh my God, I
I'm
love
so
it. I
excited.
love it. And you're here to report all along the way. The good, the
Yes,
bad,
I
and the
try.
ugly. And I'm sure we're gonna get into that.
Yes, we will for sure. So, in addition to, everything I just talked about, you're also the creative director of Amare Magazine, which I love. Follow them on social.
We love them
What does
more.
that entail?
Oh my gosh. So the whole story behind it, it's like so crazy. Me and George, the CEO of the magazine, we've been friends and known each other for years and years and years. Because anybody in LA knows that Amari throws the hottest parties down. So I started getting my introduction to him just attending these events. And we slowly but surely became really close. And he asked me if I wanted to join the team. And I've been with them for, I want to say like going on almost 2 years now. And I
Oh,
love George so much. I'm so grateful for everything that he's done for me. We have like such a unique relationship where so there for each other all the time. So I not only look at him as like the owner of the magazine, but he's also like one of my closest friends.
that's awesome. I love that. And y'all have done so many amazing covers. I love following y'all and seeing everything on social media.
And
What would you say is your favorite? I'm sure you can't pick, but if you had
oh,
to.
okay, well, I'm gonna be real narcissistic right here for a second. It's gonna be the one that I was on.
Okay. Fair
But
enough.
the thing about it that's so fun is like every single issue is so different and every cover star is so different that we work with. So it's so nice to be able to be in like a creative director position where I don't have to spend my own money and I can make everything come true, you know?
Yes.
It's just we have fun. That's one thing's for sure, two things for certain. We know how to have fun over at Amore.
Yes, that's awesome. So you, like I said, you are, in my eyes, like a fashion design prodigy. You've started from such a young age. All your collections are so amazing and everything you do. But how did you get started? What age did you get started?
So first of all, thank you. Flattered, making my head bigger over here. But I started out in fashion at 7 years old, actually. I was sitting on the couch with my mom. She was recovering from surgery. And at the time, this was when Project Runway was on Bravo. And we were just kind of flipping through the channels. And we stumbled across like a full day marathon of Project Runway. We watched the entire season, and something in my head clicked. And I'm like, Mom, like I think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I've always been like very creative oriented. Like I've always been into art, drawing, sketching, painting.
Hmm.
And then when I discovered the medium of fashion and seeing these designers on TV take an idea from their head, put it down on paper, and then bring it to life through like textiles and construction, I was just so mesmerized by that. And I was like, hey, get me into here. How am I supposed to get in here? This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you went from there
Hmm.
and you actually got to be on Project Runway, the junior
Full
version,
circle moment,
full
season one,
circle.
baby.
Yes, I love that. Was your very first collection, like your full collection launched, was that after Project Runway? Or was
So in between my time of spoiler alert getting eliminated from Project Runway and then the time from filming and then airing, I put my boots on the ground and I got to work on a collection because I knew I wanted something that was going to be available for purchase the second that first episode dropped, just to kind of be able to
smart?
capitalize on the platform. So that was like my first real collection that was like available for sale. I used to do when I was little, like little fashion shows in like my home hallway, and I would invite like friends and family over. So like I got plenty collections under my belt, but that was the first official one. That was the first
Okay,
official one.
nice. And you've had, quite a few collections since then. I know you also have a line of faux fur jackets that
Yes.
seriously I'm obsessed with. Those are like the best things ever.
Oh my God, thank you.
But would you say you have a favorite collection, or does it kind of like change over time with the trends?
It's hard because they all become like your babies. Like these are all my
Yeah.
children. But secretly, nobody will tell you this. Every parent has a favorite child. So my favorite child would have to be probably my New York Fashion Week collection from 2020. That one just had such an amazing like background and a story, and like the whole creative process behind that was so cool. And the actual show in New York was phenomenal. It was like my favorite, my biggest one. We put the most money into that one. We had amazing guests, amazing coverage. We had Vogue there, Elle, Harper's Bazaar.
Awesome.
That was a really mind-blowing moment. But that show was on February 9th of 2020, literally a week before the entire world shut down. So that was kind of
Wow.
like bummer in
Hmm.
terms of like we had all of these grandiose plans for the collection. Um, and all of those kind of came to a halt. But everything happens for a reason, and that one still lives on in my head as my favorite.
Awesome. Yes, I love that one so much. My favorite look from that one has to be the checkered
Glove, the
high
houndstooth
gloves.
glove, and then the pants. Yes,
Yeah,
that's my favorite one too. That is like honestly one of my favorite looks in the
so
history of
good.
ever.
So good. And was it like there was one I think with I think it was faux fur skirt, like
Yes.
a
Yeah.
PA
Oh,
type top,
you
kind
did
of
your
whatever
research.
you
I
call
love
it.
you. Yeah, yeah.
I love that. That's
I
awesome.
love to do something funky. Fashion is supposed to be fun. Fashion isn't
Mhm.
that serious at the end of the day. So it's like, have fun with that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as we mentioned, you're on Project Runway Junior. What was that like? How did you get on it? How did you hear about it? All that fun stuff.
Oh my gosh. Well, what I always tell people, it was the most stressful, but also most rewarding experience of my entire life. And
Yeah.
like to this day, where I'm sitting right now, I give 100% credit that I would not be here without Project Runway and the entire production team, who I still stay in contact with to this day.
Wow.
It was such a blessing. And the fact that I got into fashion by watching Project Runway and then getting to be part of the Project Runway family, so amazing and like so crazy. It's like was such a pinch me moment. But as for how I got on, I actually attended like a fashion summer camp at FIT with one of my best friends when I was like in middle school, like long, long, long time ago. And I became really close with one of the like camp counselors. And we stayed in touch a little bit throughout the years. But a few years later, she just sent me a text and she's like, "Hey, can you get on the phone call real quick?" I hopped on the phone with her, and she was like, one of my friends is a casting agent and they're trying to put together a cast of like young designers for something that's going to be in the Project Runway family. I wanted to reach out to you first to get your permission. And I said, girl, you didn't have to ask my permission. You should have already had my shit at
Yes,
the top of
please.
that list. Like, so then, like I had to fill out a million pages of paperwork, go through the whole process just like everybody else. And I didn't hear back for like months. And I just
Mm.
kind of like assumed that I didn't get it. I was so bummed. And then one day out the blue, a call from an unknown number. They're like, I hope you don't have any summer plans because we're flying you out to New York for a few months. We're filming and it's happening. And I remember that day so, so vividly. It was to this day one of the best days of my entire life.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's awesome. You were also highlighted in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills,
Yeah.
kind of with your collection of faux fur jackets that I talked about. And I'll throw up a picture here because like I said, I'm obsessed with them. They're so awesome.
We got to get you in one, baby.
Yes, please. It was featured in Kyle Richards' boutique. And for those who don't know, Kyle Richards is your godmother, I believe. That's
Yes, my godmama, my fairy
awesome.
godmother.
Yes. Are y'all like super close? Y'all talk all the time. Obviously, you were at her store event.
Yes. Yes. I mean, the thing is Kyle and my mom have been best friends since I think they were like 9 years old.
Oh wow.
So I grew up with Kyle, Mauricio, Farah, Portia, Alexia. Like we almost had like a cousin kind of dynamic. And we would
Hmm.
travel together. Like I have a picture in here, like when I was about this high, all of us together in San Francisco on a little road trip.
Wow.
So I'm incredibly close with all of them still. And especially with Kyle, like I'm so grateful for everything that she's ever done for me And
Hmm.
especially with, everything that's going on right now, like I am like sending her so much love. And
Yeah.
I love that woman so much. She's really has a great heart, and you can't believe everything you see on TV.
Yes, for sure. I mean, how crazy is it that y'all are all sort of connected in that familial way and you're all kind of on reality TV too? Like you have the Hiltons and you have the Richard sisters and now Mauricio and their daughters and you also in reality TV. Like how crazy is that?
It is kind of wild. And I will tell you, obviously, they've been doing it much longer than I have, and they're to a much bigger extent. But when I did find out I was going on Project Runway, I wasn't supposed to tell anybody, but I had to tell her. And I remember vividly going over to her house a few days before I left for New York. It was the house that like Sutton ended up living in, Larsa ended up living in,
Hmm.
that house there.
Yeah.
And she just like sat me down and she gave me kind of like a rundown, like, okay, this is what you should do. This is what you absolutely should not do. It's like one of the biggest things I remember her telling me. She's like, if you have a mic on you, no matter what you're doing, no matter how you cover it, it's recording. So don't say anything that you do not want broadcast to millions of people. No matter how
Yes.
hard you feel like you're trying to finesse the system, it's not going to work. So that I took that to heart. But she definitely gave me like a little reality TV crash course.
That's
And
awesome.
I took that to heart for sure.
Yes, I'm sure she has definitely learned a lot of lessons in her time
Oh
being
yeah,
in
I feel
reality
like
TV.
she's a real OG. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. She's hands down my favorite housewife.
Oh my God, I'm in
Like when
love
I think of
with her.
housewives, immediately her. She's awesome.
She is Beverly Hills, darling.
Yes.
She.
Homegrown.
Right, homegrown. Yes.
Yes. So I would be remiss if I didn't ask, but is there any kind of information that you can or want to share about her and Mauricio's split? I know they're technically not divorcing, they're just kind of
Yeah.
separated right now. They're still kind of keeping a strong family, for the kids and everything. Is there
Yeah.
anything you can tell us?
The thing about their family dynamic is it is so incredibly strong. So no matter what happens, they are a unit forever and
Mhm.
always. The thing that like I would urge people out there, because there's so much speculation
Yeah.
online, even on the show, it's like there's like children involved, and like Portia, still in my eyes, she's like in a car seat, like she's still a baby to
Yeah,
me.
right.
And it's like they all love their mom and their dad so, so much.
Hmm.
So it's like it's tough for them. It's tough to not only have to deal with this for anybody, but to deal with it in the spotlight
Yeah.
is terrible. So it's like I wish them nothing but the best. At the end of the day, you've got to do what's best for you, whether that's being together or apart.
Yeah, so
And
true.
maintaining like normalcy and like a sense of family, I think is so important. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, they're all going to be good. It's a
Hmm.
rough patch and it sucks that it's on TV, but what you gonna do?
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, thanks for sharing that.
of
Appreciate
course,
it.
of course.
Obviously, you're no stranger to reality TV, Project Runway, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Most recently, you are one of the main stars on the Getaway Los Angeles, which has been airing on Brandon TV streaming app. And they're one of the fastest growing and most popular new streaming apps. They have such amazing shows on there. Definitely, this is not sponsored or anything. I just love all their shows. So
Hashtag
definitely
ad.
encourage people to
Yeah.
check it out. Hashtag ad. Um, but how did you get involved with that?
So I have known Brandon. I can't even put a year on it. That's how long I've known him. Like I just feel like we've been friends for forever. Just being in LA, LA is a lot smaller than a lot of people realize. And we just started running into each other and developed ultimately like a really, really close friendship. And first and foremost, I'm so incredibly proud of everything that he's accomplished because I've been friends with him for a while before all of this BTV stuff when I
Hmm.
just remember like us just sitting around having drinks and him talking about how he wanted to do everything that he's doing right now. So that's like my favorite thing to see my friends winning, see my friends succeeding. And like, I will tell you, the first day that I stepped into that studio of his, I was like, bro, like you're doing your big one. Like,
That's
good
awesome.
for you. Because that studio is everything. But he had just kind of come to me and presented this idea for the getaway. It was like an untitled series at the time, I think.
Hmm.
And I was like, you know what? Like, I have so much going on, but like, I would love to participate in it the best that I can, and like with whatever time allows me to.
Yeah.
And it was for the most part 99% a lot of fun. There was some really, really, really terrible moments, which I'm sure we'll get into in a moment.
Yes, for
It was
sure.
like overall, it was fun. It was different. It was really easy because Brandon is my friend. So getting to work with
Mhm.
him, to be around him, it's like it didn't feel so much like work.
That's good.
Um, and it was a cool experience. I'm excited to see, the rest of the season play out and going into season two.
Yeah. So, like you said, y'all are great friends. He's also a cast member and, creator, producer of that show. Did you
Yeah.
ever have any worry where you were kind of like, there's potential for this to, mess up our friendship if I don't like the way something is aired and how I look in it? If he's kind of putting on his more producer hat than friend.
A little bit. I'll be
Okay.
honest with you. It's like I always feel like it's like the Shawnee O'Neal in Basketball Wives. Like when you have somebody that holds executive power who's also a cast member, the
Hmm.
dynamics of that can get a little bit funky.
Sure.
But I talked to him before we even picked up cameras and filmed the first thing, and I was like, "Me and you have something so good going. Like I don't want any of this to mess it up. Like if
That's
there's
good.
really anything that I ever do that you have an issue with, just come talk to me about it. Like we don't need to blow it up into something big." Um,
Hmm.
and we've really been cool. Like I don't think we've had obviously little disagreements about little things here and there, like what
Yeah.
side of the camera I'm getting picked up on. But overall, it's been really, really fun, and I love most of the cast. But I love
Most.
Brandon with my whole heart. Most heavy on the most.
Awesome. I love that. So you're you are definitely one of my favorite.
One of, I'm
You
just
are
kidding.
definitely one of
I
the
close the camera.
the favorite um, characters or personalities on that show.
Thank
You
you.
are so funny and just real and like your one-liners like and sound bites just kind of like spit out like this. It's awesome.
Oh my God, I
How
love you.
how does that happen? Do you just think of it on the spot? Are you just like sitting one day and you're like, oh my gosh, this would be a good line to say in the confessional. I gotta write this down.
The thing about it, anybody that like knows me, I have friendships that span over 20 years. Anybody that knows me intimately in my life knows that that's just how I am in
Yeah.
person. And I feel like with the getaway, I was really able, because there wasn't as much pressure because Brandon's my friend, there
Mm,
wasn't as much pressure to, be in the riff raff or deliver or perform. Like I was like, I'm just gonna come
yeah.
into this, I'm just gonna be myself. And it's like if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But I'm keeping very low expectations for it. So it's like, no, I certainly do not write anything down. I feel like you can always tell, because especially working in reality TV and being on reality TV, when I'm watching it myself as like a watcher, like I can always tell when somebody's being a little bit like it's rehearsed reads and rehearsed lines.
Yeah.
I don't like that. It makes me cringe. So
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I just go off the fly. And especially on the getaway, it's like Brandon is the one that's sitting behind the camera. Joelle is sitting behind the camera. Justin's sitting behind the camera. These are all like my friends, and these are people that we go out and we laugh with and have
Hmm.
a kiki. So it's just an extension of that, just with a camera and a little more makeup.
Yeah. Awesome. So one of the season's biggest highlights was the cast trip to Vegas towards the end of the season. It totally blew up in the finale. It was so
I
crazy. But you weren't there.
was not there.
So why not? Was that just like a scheduling issue? Did you not want to travel with those people?
To
What was
be
it?
quite honest with you, I cannot remember because this happened so long ago. There
Yeah.
was like, 'cause I didn't go to the Big Bear trip and I did not go to the Vegas trip. I remember there was one of them when I was launching my collaboration between my brand and PETA, and it was happening
Okay.
right in the thick of it. So that was like a valid excuse. The
Hmm.
other one, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really have like a solid excuse. Like I had to work, but like I probably could have taken time off. I mean, watching it on the show, I feel like that says everything you need to know. Like that's not how I like to travel, to be honest
Yes.
with you. So that's just not my thing. And I'm sad that I missed out on some of the fun moments that I heard about, but overall, I'm more than happy and at peace with my decision not to go.
Nice. You missed out on your cheesecake from the
My
Cheesecake
cheesesteak,
Factory.
I said, baby, I'll DoorDash that myself back in LA. Thank you very much.
Yes. So recently, kind of after filming wrapped and the show aired, a clip from a New Year's Eve party, I believe it was
Oh
at
my
Brandon's studio, the Brandon TV studio. A clip of you and your co-star Cliff kind of went viral. Y'all got into a major fight. It almost seemed like it got physical from the clip. What the heck happened?
Which that was an ugly night. And that was certainly not how I wanted to start off my 2024. Like I had ate my black eyed peas, like I ate my 12 grapes, like I was ready to like manifest like a peaceful, conflict-free, drama-free year. And you guys will see when it plays out on the show. And I'm hoping that it gets edited correctly.
Mm,
It was not started by me whatsoever. I showed up there ready to have a good time in my little like leather shorts and my jacket with my little legs poking out. And I was there with like a couple of like my like real friends. And we had like a good night overall. We had fun. And literally, as I'm on my way out, like walking out, walking my friends to the bathroom so that we can hop in our car and go home, it's like Cliff is starting with me screaming from across the room. And at first, I don't even pay attention. So I'm like, oh, he's just screaming like loud, whatever. I'm loud too. But then as I'm like listening, I'm like, oh, he's talking to me. So it's like patience can only take you so far and you can
mm,
only push so far. And this is somebody that, my first impression of them, they already came into the show with like a negative feelings towards me,
mm.
um, which is unfortunate, but it happens all the time in life. So we
Yeah.
didn't get off to a good start. And I just felt like he has just been poking and poking and poking and wanting to get a reaction out of me. And unfortunately, that night, he got it. And it's certainly like I woke up the next day, like not proud of it at all. Like, that's not the image that I like to portray for myself. That's not a side of me that I liked to come out.
Hmm.
Um, and especially like once it started hitting social media, like I was embarrassed about it. Like it's not me. If you watch the video and you listen to it, the voice that was coming out of me was demonic. That's not how I sound right now. Like that was a full-blown man right
Yeah.
there. That was like Bad Boys Club. Like it was so crazy. Um, but I have not seen him since. And you'll see a couple more clips on Obsessed. I filmed my
Hmm.
episode of Obsessed that should be out decently soon. Um,
Awesome.
so it was a terrible night. It was honestly, it was a great night until it wasn't.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And you saw me like it started getting perpetuated on social media. Like I think he posted on his page, which is crazy. Fake accounts that I can only imagine were tied back to him start talking about my lip filler and this, that, the third, something about my mom pimps me out for OnlyFans, which I'm like, where, like, where are you getting your information from? Because it's
Yeah. Now
like,
you're just making stuff up.
that's what I'm saying. And it's like, you cannot fight or argue with somebody that's like not based in reality. It's like, girl, if I had an OnlyFans, whoo, baby, I would be rich. Like, let me tell you about it. And second of all, my mom don't even know what OnlyFans is. So how the hell is she pimping me out? Like, what do you mean? Like
Yeah.
what? So it's just like it's insanity. And it's like at the end of the day, it's like you led this in. You said fight with your co-star. If you look at the cast photo, nowhere to be found. I'm right there front and center, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, the thing is, I don't have any hate in my heart for anybody. It's like that happened. We're already in May. We're halfway through the year. I haven't thought about it twice, but it was a
That's good.
crazy night. And y'all will see it play out, and I'm sure y'all will get a lot of entertainment out of it.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question is if it was filmed, if that was like a filming time for next season, or if people are like, oh my gosh, it's happening, pick up the cameras.
It was more so the latter. We were not
Okay.
filming that night at all. There was no like cameras like actively like picking up and covering the night. But
Hmm.
as soon as yelling started, I felt like Beyonce. Suddenly everybody got their phone out. We got some people taking it vertical, some people taking it horizontal, and I'm like, oh child, world star.
Yeah. So will we see you, besides the fight, in season 2 of the Getaway LA.
You absolutely will. I
Awesome.
am going through like a lot of changes and like a lot of new exciting things are going on in my life that you guys will see kind of play out towards the end of season 1 and then going into season 2.
Okay.
So, the capacity is going to look a little bit different, but I'm not going anywhere. Y'all can't get rid of me that easy.
Yes, good. Awesome. So just before, we kind of wrap this up, I'm curious if there's any new collection that you're working on, like design collection or, maybe a new drop or anything like that.
Yes. Well, like I just said, we always got something in the works.
Yes.
I am working very hard on like a really exciting project right now that I can't say too much about. But I'm somebody that likes to stay busy. So I always got my wheels spinning a million miles an hour. So don't worry, just stay tuned
Awesome.
and all will be revealed in the near future.
Awesome. I can't wait for that. And if you need someone to host, the Getaway LA reunion,
I'm begging.
I might be free. I don't know.
I need Brandon to bring you on. Because where do you live at?
I'm on the East Coast. I'm
East
in
Coast.
South
Okay,
Carolina
period.
now, so yeah.
Period. Brandon can get you a little flight.
Yes, I told
Flight.
him.
Come on, he got that studio. He can book you a flight.
Exactly. I was like, "You're in the cast. You can't host it. Like, give me a call."
I no, I that would make me so happy. And just go easy on me if you do, please.
Yes. I'll just go in on Cliff.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Awesome. Well, before I wrap up, is there anything else that you want to say to all of our listeners and viewers?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, this was so much fun. You are a boss at what you do. You always kill it,
Thank
never
you.
miss. And to everybody at home, just tune in to the Getaway LA. Stay tuned to see all of the crazy, exciting shenanigans that we're getting up to. And everybody stay safe and go out there and be a boss bitch.
Yes. Period. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate it.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm obsessed with you. This was so much fun. I could do it all day.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, my love. Talk to you soon. Mwah.